Thanks very much for staying with us. The program is this morning on ITV. It's now time for us to talk aviation. We sincerely apologize. We are behind schedule. Can we have the details of Mr. Godwin and Ike on the screen here so that you can actually take that? As we have oftentimes say, the program is not just an interface here between myself and Mr. Godwin and Ike. The telephone number, the email address, the website, the YouTube channel, and Twitter handle are all there for you to meet him and to discuss with him if you want to, and follow him up on all those social media platforms so that you will know more about the plane and what's happening when you fly in, before you fly, when you fly in, and when you land in, and all these put together. Mr. Kwa, very good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning, Nata.
Very good morning.
My dear viewers, please, very sorry for the lateness, but we're going to cover 4 clips this morning.
Okay, somehow we're going to follow very quickly here. So much around the aviation industry. It's one that is a lot busy here. We've been looking at airport security. We've been looking at how to secure the airport here. You know, sadly, sometimes in motor parks, you see touts doing their own thing here. When it comes to airport, unlike motor parks that you can take off from, whatever happens, most times wrongly by some bad persons, when the plane is in the sky, is what sometimes is being planned from the airport or before the airport, and so we're looking at airport, how to secure and fortify the airport. Today we're looking at part what?
Part 4. Part 4 of the airport security, and how well is Nigeria doing. Now we are continuing with how different countries deal with airport security, and this morning we're going to also look at Canada. And remember, my dear viewers, the whole essence of what we're doing is to see that there is no hard and fast rule about what you do as a nation, and nothing is cast in gold and silver. It's all about looking inwards, checking out what's good for for the nation, and implementing them. Some do them in corporate fashion, others do them employing private people. So today, let's start with Canada and see what's going on in Canada. Clip 1 is there already on the screen. Canada has a complex and sometimes confusing web of security networks for the safety of her airports. While all restrictions concerning airport security are determined by Transport Canada, TC, some others are implemented by Canadian Air Transport Security Authority, CATSA. Can you see? You have the Transport Canada, and then you have the CATSA, the Canadian Air Transport Security Authority, in synergy with the airport operator. So what do you get from this message? When you say in synergy with airport operator, that means the operator of the airport is an independent private organization, now working in sync with a government organization in the name of CATSA. All right? Okay, that's Canada for you, so that we can also learn what other people are doing and see how we're going to fashion our own for best results. Okay? Yeah. The Air India bombing in 1985, the September 11, 2001 Twin Towers bombing in New York, USA, and other incidents led the Canadian authorities to tightening airport security in order to prevent attacks in Canada. At the pre-bus screening points, above-mentioned security agencies use a combination of X-ray machines, metal detectors, explosive trace detection equipment, usually known as ETD, computer tomography X-ray, that is the CTX machines, and random physical searches of passengers to verify contents of carry-ons and checked bags. In January 2007, CATSA launched its Restricted Area Identity Card, known as RAIC program. Okay? RAIC remains the world's first dual biometric access control system for airports. Good. Is anybody thinking about this?
Well, we'll probably get there very soon.
They contain biometric information such as fingerprints and iris scans of the individual issue they are. You know what they mean by the iris scan?
No.
the eyes.
Okay.
You know, the eyes have very special patterns. The pattern of your eyes are not the same as mine.
But if I may come in here a little, some of my experience in China shows that when you are just arriving and you're trying to check into the airport, into the main airport, the first point after you disembark from the plane, you just see some lineup of computers.
Okay.
Will I call it computers now, or like some computer ICT kiosks?
Okay.
You go there first. You put your passport first. That's the first point that clears you. You go there, you just put your passport. It's self-explanatory. As you are disembarking from the plane, you see it I saw it by the right also.
Yeah.
You put your passport, it clears you. After it clears you, then you can start to move in. If it doesn't clear you,
it's auto system. They actually have something like that now in Ghana.
because that one, when you just put it there, you just discover that it clears you and everything. And it gives you a little printout, then you proceed.
That of Ghana, you walk into and a kind of, you know, a cubicle, and everything is in there, and then you present your passport. The thing takes a quick scan of your passport. If it's current and everything is okay with your visas and the rest of them, it opens the door and lets you out. Otherwise, the door never opens. You get stuck in there until an official comes to take you to go and check you out. That's how it operates in Ghana.
Okay, let's
different technologies. I keep saying this. We've got enough technologies around the world to do the job. We just need discipline, behaving well, and investing, you know, our hard-earned money to put what is right for us, and that's it. And the bad ones won't find a way around. Okay. So clip 2, please.
Clip 2 quickly. Which country is that?
We're continuing with Canada.
Canada, okay.
In clip 2. Can we have it
that's
there?
Clip 2, yeah.
Right.
Canada continues.
Yeah, Canada continues. It's remarkable to note that while CATSA is responsible for pre-board passengers and random non-passenger screening, third-party service providers are contracted to train, manage, and employ the screening officers.
Okay, that's good. That's a strong synergy.
So, also, due to the privatization of airport management in the 1990s by the Canadian government, CATSA has been sidelined in the security architecture of the Canadian airports, as private security companies and local police are now employed to do the job. Did you hear that?
That's good.
So, is somebody somewhere thinking?
You want to put fun in the corner. But not the kind of guys that embarrass you, not the kind of security guys that embarrass you, that focus on clamping down of your vehicle, not this kind of one.
No, we're not looking for this kind of
people. We're looking for
these
some
people
who are
really
committed, who are really standing, looking at you, searching everywhere, not the one who sits down somewhere, hide by a wall and say, okay, once that car comes, clamp it down. The man talking about 35, 40,000 naira.
That's correct. That's correct. So we don't need those. They're no good at all, and we're going to put them away very shortly.
Clip 3.
How different countries deal with airport security. We're looking at the European Union, EU. Rules for protection of civil aviation against acts of unlawful interference in the European Union are contained in the regulation EC number 300/2008 of the European Parliament and the Council. The regulations apply to all airports or parts of airports located in an EU country, especially when they are not used exclusively for military purposes. The rules also apply to all operators, including air carriers providing services at the airports. All other entities located inside or outside airport premises providing services to airports are also included. The standards of regulation 300/2008 are implemented by Commission Regulation EU 2015/998. Prior to 2005, some EU countries had no checks for domestic flights. Can you see how nicely laid out these guys were? And they in their domestic flight, everything was so trustworthy that no one was even checking. But regulation number 2320/2002 from 2002 introduced the requirement to have security checks for all passenger flights, including domestic ones, due to the need to expand airport terminals. It took some time to implement this regulation. Now, checking from the year that this happened in 2002, it would have been as a result of the Twin Tower bombing in the US, 9/11 in 2001. Otherwise, the European Union had no business carrying out security checks in their domestic flights. It was so trustworthy that it was unnecessary.
True.
Okay. Let's move to our final clip for the day, clip 4.
Clip 4.
And take a look at Sweden.
One small, very nice country.
Oh, beautiful.
About 7 million. I think they're the highest in the per capita.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Nice. I got some Swedish guys came in. We met.
And every child is in school.
And they are
paid by government.
They are so contented.
Oh yeah.
Very small country somehow.
Small happy people.
But they're very hardworking. Everyone there seems to be. According to one of the guys I discussed with from Sweden, he told me that look, everyone is just happy doing his job. They really don't have too much billionaires around.
No, but do you really need to be a billionaire to live a good life?
But the cash,
you don't.
But the cash flow regulates to everyone. Mostly about 96% of the country are living largely above poverty level. They are not happy. Everyone earns what can take him. Every community, every county, everyone has a road. They have access to light. And they don't really, when it comes to prison services, our prison is so too comfortable. Some of the criminals just go there. They come back looking fresher than we do. Most times, I think they've really evolved.
Yeah.
He said when he was showing
Well, you know the big irony. We can actually do the same in Nigeria.
We can do
much more.
He told me that Nigeria can do far more than Sweden.
Oh yeah.
But just that most times the perception about Nigeria, which according to him is so worrisome based on his research, is that everyone just wants the government to just change the country. So that's the irony of Nigeria and Sweden.
That's correct.
In Sweden, everybody just want to walk. On Saturday morning, they come out, they clean. Everyone just, we've got the environmental agencies there, but they clean the drainage, they cut the grasses, they go around, they hold parties, they pack the trash from the party, they clean it. Everyone knows where to put his or her waste here. And sometimes you just find everyone just working for the country. But in Nigeria, I said everyone just sit down, build big houses, and want the government to fix everything.
It's a shame.
Everything. And even the government, according to him, steals so much in Nigeria. Government steals so much, takes so much money out of the country. That's government officials now. Takes so much cash out of the country. Unlike Sweden, hardly you see anybody take any money out except for very key investment. Government officials don't even take anything. Because you can't even take anything out in the first place. Because
the system won't let you do it. The system won't
take anything out. Yes. You can't make anything more from but just work hard, live very well, live very comfortable. And most time when you see the way the country is structured, you don't need to steal anything.
That's correct. That's correct. It reminds me of an experience I had, that was in the Netherlands. I was on my way to Taiwan. That was in 1988, and I came before this young man at the airport, and I was going to get my boarding pass for the next leg of the journey. And then as soon as he saw my passport, oh, Nigeria, oh, rich people. And I said, why do you say that? And then he described to me about some of our officials. He did something like that. You know what he means? The Abada, the Barbariga. And then and that time we had this document that was denominated in dollars, MCO, that Nigeria Airways used to distribute at the time and use. I don't even know the full meaning of that acronym, MCO. But it was denominated, pieces of papers, but denominated in dollars. And this young man described to me how people will come there with a portfolio filled with millions and millions of dollars of MCO, buying tickets for round-the-world trip with themselves and their girlfriends and stuff like that. And he said to me, you know what, Godwin? My country cannot sustain such a pressure. If we do that here, we will sink.
That
was what he said to me.
That reminds me, 2006, I met in Tel Aviv, having returned back from Jerusalem, my way almost coming back to Nigeria, just a day or two to return. And I go to Tel Aviv, and the man really saw us, any black man in Israel, they call you Nigeria, because we're the only country who go on pilgrimage. Say, Nigeria, Nigeria, Nigeria. And any black man they see in Israel, they just call you Nigeria, because officially across the world, we're the only country who send people to Israel on pilgrimage. And we are so happy. Say, rich country. We are so happy. Say, rich country. And we were all cheering him from, he was looking out from the window. And he said, oh, plenty, oil money. We kept cheering. You say government thief, everybody suffer. And that's where we kept quiet.
All right, let's get on with the clip four.
Clip four, the last clip.
And come to an end of it. I'll take it again so that our viewers will follow very quickly. Clip four, Sweden. The Swedish Transport Agency, STA, decides the rules for airport security checks based on international regulations. A combination of security guards provided by the Airport Management Authority, the police, and the airport firefighters assist in keeping the Swedish airports secured. Airports in Sweden are generally defined by law as protected objects. Did you hear that?
Correct. That's very encouraging.
This airport status gives guards extra authority to demand identity documents and search people's belongings. Traditionally, Sweden, being a low-crime country, sees little need for security checks. But when international regulation demanded extra security vigilance in 1970s and 1980s, Sweden introduced security checks for international departures. The September 2001 terrorist action in New York led to a decision to introduce security checks for domestic flights. Can you see again? Sweden had no business carrying out security checks.
But before you get into the country, you are really, they have almost everybody's record here.
That's right.
You don't get there and you just sit down. Before you go, somebody knows who is who.
That's
and
right.
everyone who lives in a neighborhood or a county, and they know who is who. And they can really tell who this person is. Anywhere you go to, they can easily check your face. The police are everywhere. They have at least about 4 or 5 police to one person. And everyone is just likely policing the next person here. A country that highly, when it comes to internet connectivity, is one that is. I think if you look at airport security, sometimes you just tell that the world is gone. The world is really gone. And most times when you go to airport, like unlike our airports, you meet too many persons.
Yeah.
Too many officials. I don't know whether you observe that.
That's right.
You just go into the airport, you just disembark. You go. You found. The plainclothes official, maybe the DSS, you found immigration, you find fan, you just find crowd, too many crowd. If you go to,
and more often than not, just holding conversations.
The airport at Singapore, just see 2 or 3 ladies or 4 ladies just greeting you very, very.
More work is done behind the scenes.
Just see them walk around, they greet you very well, check your paper, smile at you, welcome you, do everything. You don't really see anybody. The toilets are so clean. You don't see anybody. If you go to our toilets, it's almost crowded. Okay, your boys stay here.
Yeah.
Your boys stay here. And that's when I got to one day.
I'm rolling tissue paper
and giving it to me. I felt really, really somewhat offended.
It's
everywhere is just littered, and somehow you find water everywhere.
It runs in our minds and in our heads, and somebody needs to clean them up. It's about cleaning up our heads and our minds. It's more often than not, when you share some of these frustrations with people, they look at you as, where is this one coming from? You better return where you came from. They don't ever believe you live here with them and that you are desiring and looking forward to having a better ambience and a better, environment, better attitude. And they don't get that message that this is what you are all about. But they think Johnny just come. You just came in from somewhere and you're talking and want to have these things begin to happen in your nation. For goodness sake, we'll live right here with you. But we just have been privileged to see how other people are doing it around the world, and we desire to have the same going on here. We can actually.
Most times I really don't have so much long time. My first long delay in airport was close to about 6 hours let me give it to Africa, at the airport in Johannesburg, Oliver Tambo Airport. And to my shock, I really felt, hey guys, that long time I'm so boring, I'll just get a place to just see if I can sleep and all of that. But the airport is as busy as Wuse Market, very beautiful. As busy as Wuse Market, thanks to the white guys who built it anyway, according to someone. And within the space, the 6 hours just come. It's like some parties, like a party. Some people are there drinking, doing their things. Some are shopping. Passengers are coming, are going, and everywhere. And quietly 6 hours.
Remember the last time I said to you that the airport is a marketplace. It's not just about now go board a plane or disembark and come out of the airport.
That's the way our airport looks.
Yeah.
That's the way our airport looks.
Yeah, but because we were not thinking when we set it up. I mean, somebody just put up something, brought forward, and we...
If you are to traverse the long market, you just observe that you're just going through shops, going through beautiful shops.
Yes.
Or you don't just walk into the airport and you're just seeing, all you see is security men, some chairs to sit, announcement going on, you wait, you fiddle with your phone. No, in that place, almost everyone is shopping, you are buying, it's a whole
huge market.
You got banks, you got bureau de change,
Yes.
you got tax refund. You have tax refund here?
No.
You know, the tax refund,
no.
you just change your money, you just, it's just one big.
Well, the good news is that it just takes somebody in the right position to have a change of mind, change of heart, begin to carry out the real thing. That is training and retraining people and giving the right orientation, putting the feet down and ensuring that that orientation given is practiced. And as people practice them, they seep in. These things take a little time to seep in. It's just like habits. They say old habits die hard. And once you get the right habits, you stick to it, and you don't even know when you do it. It's just like the habit of washing hands. If I leave my door, step out and step in without even touching anything, because of the habit, you know where I walk in straight to the bathroom. I go there, wash hands, clean up, and before I get going again. And so a habit is what it is. We've got the wrong habits at the moment. Somebody has got to help this nation to begin to imbibe the right habits in people, and you will see that in a short while, you'll be amazed. You see Nigerians begin to behave differently and do things differently.
Okay, thank you very much for coming. We wish you all the very best. Enjoy the rainy morning. That's a beautiful morning here.
Right.
Just the rainy morning. That's how we can go on the program. Thanks for staying with us.
Yeah.
We take a break now. When we return from the break, we'll be looking at our national unity and the need for us to foster the role of government as against the backdrop of the, I don't want to use the offensive words now, the already failing revolution.